Well, good afternoon. Welcome to American Reversion. Yes, it's time to get back at it, isn't it? Finally concluded my extended vacation. Kind of watching what's going on in the news. And, it's interesting stuff, same old stuff. Nothing to get too wrapped up about, but I did want to talk about something. And so now, as we enter the final phase of this current political season, I want to say a few things, and when something occurred to me today, I said, okay, today is the day to get started back on American Reversion. We have been looking forward to a huge red wave, haven't we? And we've been doing that because history shows us that it should happen. And we're sick of how things are going, right? We can't stand when we get up every day and we read the news, and then I check all the aggregators, and I say, man, just more of the same junk. I mean, bad things happen and nothing's being done about them. What's to become of this? But at least we can look forward to, and we'll say to ourselves, with all the bad news, with the gas prices going sky high, and of course we know that they're bringing it down now, right? We knew that was going to happen as we get closer to the election. No party in power wants gas prices to be sky high when there's an election coming up. With the inflation going the way it is, there's no way that they aren't going to take a bloodbath in November, right? We do see a number of hopeful election results occurring around the country, as far as who's making it through, who's winning certain primaries. We can have a little hope there. How much hope? Difficult to say. We had what many were very surprised at, and it was disappointing, the value of them both vote in Kansas here, to where what was really all was about. And most people don't understand what it was, and both sides, especially the opposing side, lied about what it was. And so, as always, we had people voting out of ignorance. But since when has that been new, right? I mean, this country has been run by the ignorant voters, to be real honest. Since when? I don't know. Since I was a kid, anyway. Since way before that. Since back in the 30s. Most people don't know what's going on. So many people voted because of the teenage kids that came by and knocked on their door. And is this pointed right? I don't know. It seems like that's whatever. Teenage kids came by and knocked on their door and said, "Have you heard about this and that?" And then they hand up, and the person says, "Well, I don't know much about it." And the kid hands them a leaflet and answers their questions, if they do have any questions. If they read down their answer sheet, and most of the answers, well, I don't know if most, many of the answers are just lies. And the person believes it because they haven't kept up on things themselves. And then half of them don't even listen. They just say, well, that was sure a nice young man or a nice young lady. I think I'll vote the way they want me to. That's how our country is run, isn't it? I mean, it's amazing. It can make you want to tear your hair out, but it's the truth. It's the way that our country is run. And, we can beat it. It depends on how much effort and how much money and how much, how many people are willing to get out there and work hard at it. We know we can beat it because we've beat it in the past. Whether we're going to beat it this time. Why did Michael Jackson just flash into my head? Is a question in my mind. And that's what I want to throw up to you here. I'm not sure that we will see the red wave. Now history, and I have said this myself. I had said, 6 months ago, several months ago, whenever, before I took my vacation, I thought, okay, there's going to be a huge red wave, and all we have to be concerned about is what kind of Reds get into office, because if they're no better than half of the ones, or more than half the ones we have in now, what good is it going to be? The Democrats, the liberals, fight like the Dickens all the time. Our people don't. They don't. They get up there, they get comfortable. You got a few firebrands out there, and I know that people have different opinions of these people, but there are some up there, and amazingly, well, maybe I shouldn't even say amazingly, because we're raising our young women to be stronger and our young men to be weaker. So so many of them that I really think are great are women. Let's look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. She doesn't hold her mouth. That's what needs to happen. Some people may disagree with some of the things she said. At least she's saying it. I don't know that I've seen that much that I disagree with her on. What's that? Lauren Boebert out of Colorado. Is she from Colorado, I think? I don't know. She's a good one. People will come out and they'll be able to find little bad things about these people and try to make hay of it. So what? They're standing up. They're trying to do something. Like Sarah Palin. She brought it to them. I love her. I like these others. Who else we got around? Oh, on the other side of the aisle, she's not there anymore. Tulsi Gabbard is actually bringing more truth to what's going on today than 98% of the Republicans out there. And I put up something one time that Tulsi Gabbard had said, and it was just right on. It was exactly right on. And she was on Fox. She was on somebody's show. I don't know. It might have been Tucker's. I think she got into it with Hannity a couple of times, which is good because he's a sellout. And I don't even remember what it was about. Doesn't matter. She was right on. And the comments that I had after that from people was, well, she might, maybe what she's saying here is right, but, be careful. She's probably just doing this to get airtime, and she's probably just trying to get herself back in the public eye, unlike all the others, right, guys? Okay? And even though she had said everything, like a true red-blooded, dark red American, people just wouldn't give her any credit for it. Well, I tell you, she's more conservative than most of the so-called Republicans out there. And so I think it's a shame that people want to shoot themselves in the foot and put down somebody that's spreading a good message, instead of saying, well, I don't agree with her on this or that, or she's pro-life, and I don't agree with her on that at all. She's pro-choice. I'm as pro-life as you can get. I believe that life starts in the mind of God. And I believe that life starts before conception. How's that? Okay. But so people will say, well, yeah, she's right on all this stuff, but she's pro-choice, and I would not vote for her. I would not listen to her. What an insane thought process is that? Guess what? If you play your cards right and you're not like that, you might be able to sway people like her. You know how powerful she would be if she was persuaded over to, and it can be done. It has been done. So don't tell me it can't be done. It has been done. Remember, Ronald Reagan used to be a Democrat. I used to be a Democrat. Many people used to be a Democrat. Do you remember Zell Miller? He was a Democrat, and he was more conservative than most people out there. But anyway, getting back to this, we've got some strong people delivering a message. Good for them. Trump delivered a lot of truth. I can't stand Trump because of his tweets. All right, good, fine. I guess you don't want to be energy independent, right? I guess you don't want America to be respected in the world. I guess you don't want American jobs. He sent jobs. Stop it. Stop it. You hate a guy because you don't like him personally. I don't know him. Okay, I don't know him. I read his books. I read his books when they first came out. I like him a lot. He's a sharp guy. He's a smart guy. Maybe I don't like everything about it. Guess what? I've got friends I don't like everything about. How about you? There's probably things about me you don't like. There's probably things about you I wouldn't like. Okay? I can't imagine that. I'm sure you're a fine person. That's the problem with our side. We got all wrapped up while the other side is unified. We do everything we can to make sure that we are fractured. We'd rather argue with each other and watch the plane go down than pull together and pull the nose of that plane up and start it flying right. What a shame. What a stinking shame. This, getting back to my original thought here, what this show does, this vote in Kansas, and some other people I think have had this thought, and like I say, I don't keep real close track of anything, haven't lately, was that this Supreme Court decision could be harmful to the conservative side, to the Republicans. I'm not a Republican. I won't associate myself with either party. I'm a reversionist. Okay, not even a conservative, because I don't want to conserve what we have. I want to revert back to the way things were supposed to be. By the way, did I tell you that this is brought to you by my books, The Stone Mount Serves, the first of which is The Reversion, after which this channel was named. You can buy them. They're selling like hotcakes. Down in, I have some how to get them down in the information section or a pinned comment. Well, this decision out of Supreme Court overturning Roe could be what keeps the red wave from coming, because it has, as the vote in Kansas showed, and Kansas, even though it's a deep red state, it's driven by the voting bloc, by the high population density centers, which are as more and more people over the years have moved in from other places, New York, California, Oregon, Washington, Illinois, all these places. They've moved here because our quality of life, to be honest, is exceptional, always has been. The quality of life is being driven down as more of these people come in, to be real honest. We have apartments growing everywhere from these people who love high-density population. That's why many of us are getting ready to move on. But Kansas has become purple in many areas and even blue in a couple of spots that carry a lot of votes. And this is what caused this value of them both to go down 65 to 30 some, 65% to 30 some percent. It's because it's an emotional issue and people vote on emotions, not on intelligence. And so because of this could be a bellwether, in my opinion. I don't know, we'll see, we'll hope not. But if this decision has really drummed this up, and these people push hard, it's drummed up the emotion across the country and in important districts. The other side is working hard, guys. They're working hard all the time. They are talking to people. They are demonstrating. They are getting on the news. And you may say, well, there only 8 people showed up at with their signs and marginal people screaming. Well, that's all right. The people watching the news, the thousands of people watching the news, didn't know there was only 8 because the way the news crew framed it. It looked like there was a bunch of people. All you saw was this very unhappy person screaming, about their rights and putting out a message that was both emotional and false. But people respond to the emotion and they don't know it's false. So we may not get that huge red wave that we've been thinking about and hoping for. Who knows? This decision could cause that red wave from happening. And even if the Republicans take back majorities, in both the House and the Senate, the people winning the slots, the primaries, may not be those deep red people we are hoping for. Look at all the people that, I mean, Trump has done a brilliant job in supporting and backing certain people. And I think we all know what he's doing. He's wanting to make sure that if he runs again, he has a lot of people in the House and the Senate that owe him and will do his bidding. There's nothing wrong with that. That's politics, guys. That's what smart people do, whether it's politics or business or anything else, organized crime, whatever it is. Get people to owe you something. And that's what he's doing. Now, he has backed some really strange people. Dr. Oz. Oh my gosh. And then we see that he wasn't all that sharp in picking the people around him. Okay. We could discuss that for 5 or 6 hours, but I won't. But we will see. The thing is that even if the election gives us, okay, here again, I'm not a Republican, gives the Republicans, but I'm much more closely aligned with Republicans than Democrats, certainly. They simply come closer to my position. Even if the Republicans retake the House and Senate, we may not get the strong ones that we need in there, and so things may not change as much as we want them to. They may slow down a little bit, and they'll talk, and they'll raise money, and they'll talk a good game. And you know what could happen also? What has happened in the past? What the big danger is if the Republicans take back and get majorities, and things keep getting worse under Biden, which they will, maybe, who knows. People they will use that and say, look, when the Democrats, and they can do things to make them work, that, worse. I'm sorry. Look what happened when the Republicans came in, things got worse, and he could actually be reelected. People, for those of you who were there at the time, I was. Nobody thought Clinton had a chance of being reelected because he was such a buffoon. Things were so bad. Guess what? He was reelected. Same thing about Obama. Nobody thought he had a chance because he was so divisive. So many people hated him. Guess what? He was reelected. Biden could be reelected too. Or whoever replaces him. Okay. Anyway, I'm glad to be back. Those are my thoughts. Tell me what you think. The battle lies ahead, and I think that battle is going to be real interesting. In whatever case, remember that America needs a reversion, and it needs you to be a part of it, it needs me to be a part of it, it needs everybody we can get to be a part of it if we have any chance to return this country to the way we think it ought to be. You all have a good day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.